Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we are going over to Disney Springs to continue our must-eat series in Disney World. So Disney Springs has recently revamped and introduced tons of new restaurants, lots of new menu items. And you know, the tagline for Disney Food Blog is that food is a theme park, and Disney Springs really is a food theme park. It is incredible. There's so much good stuff there. So this is going to be another two-parter like Epcot was. We're going to have two videos where we're probably even just going to scratch the surface of all the wonderful things you can eat in Disney Springs. So please do tell us in the comments what we're missing and what you really want to encourage your fellow Disney guests to eat, because we know we're not going to hit on everything. So let's get started here. Part one, we're going to start at Homecomin. The full name of it is Homecomin Florida Kitchen, and it is headlined by Chef Art Smith, who is a celebrity chef and a local chef from Florida. And the food here is going to be all comfort food, really wonderful fried chicken and lots of cream cheese frosting and good buttery vegetables and very much comfort food, very much Southern food. So our favorites here, of course, are the fried chicken. The fried chicken is great, whether you get it with or without donuts, because you can get it with or without donuts. Going on the fried chicken route, one that's really great to get is a little appetizer that's on the menu right now called thigh-high chicken biscuits. They're little sliders, but they are served with a hot honey. So it's honey and hot sauce mixed together, and they make the hot sauce in-house. And they pour it over that chicken, and they're served with cheddar biscuits. Crazy good. That could be your entree right there, because it's so much food. And the other kind of winner here is the dessert menu. We love the shine cake, and you'll find a lot of moonshine on the menu here at Chef Art Smith's Homecomin. They have a moonshine bar even. So they have a shine cake that's soaked in moonshine. It's kind of a butter cake, really. So if you're familiar with butter cake, you know kind of what you're getting into here. It doesn't look like much, but boy, it's amazing. And the Hummingbird cake is also great, which is another Southern specialty. It's kind of like a carrot cake, but instead of carrots, you've got pineapples in there instead. So Hummingbird cake with a great cream cheese frosting, that's a must-do. If the braised short ribs are on the menu, you want to grab those too. If not, go ahead with that fried chicken. It's phenomenal, so jump on that. So there's Homecomin. That's one of our must-eats in Disney Springs. Next up, we're going to head over to the Boathouse. And the Boathouse newly opened a couple of years ago. This one is a huge restaurant, lots of rooms, lots of seating. They really focus on steaks and seafood, but they have some good appetizers and some good burgers as well. And that's what we're going to talk about here. One of my very favorites here, even though the steaks are great, but I love their Gibsons Sandwich King award-winning burger. It's no joke, that's what it's called. This burger is incredible. It's got fried cherry peppers, I believe. It's got pepper jack. It's got spicy mayo. And if you just look at the picture of it there, you can see this thing is off the charts. It's so good. So do try that. And again, that's one of the less expensive items on the menu. So you're gonna save a few dollars there, but still get one of what I consider to be the best dishes on the menu with that burger. Another good option here is their appetizer menu. You'll get the shrimp and andouille mac and cheese, which are little macaroni kind of shells, great creamy cheese. And of course you can get it without the shrimp and andouille if you want to, without the shrimp and sausage, or throw them in there. They add a lot of flavor. This is a really great appetizer, definitely shareable. It's a huge bowl. And then I'm going to move on to dessert here. I absolutely love the key lime pie. Now I know there's key lime pie everywhere in Florida. I get that, but this is really incredible. This is some of the best I've had. Key lime pie in a jar is what it's called, in a mason jar. And then I also love the Firecracker shrimp here. The Firecracker shrimp is really good. That's a real trend on a lot of menus right now. They do a good job with it here. Something I will warn you against, however, at the Boathouse. They have a very expensive dessert on the menu that they call Baked Alaska. It is nothing like Baked Alaska, in fact. It is kind of a pint of Rocky Road ice cream, and it's covered in marshmallow sauce and marshmallows, and then a bunch of Hershey bars. And they charge $40 for that, which is crazy. It's pure shock value. That's the only reason I think anybody would order it, because it's huge and it comes to your table with a giant steak knife to cut it. not worth the money. I definitely urge you to go with any other dessert on the menu because they have a really great dessert menu. I'm kind of sad that they have this thing on there that sort of ruins it for everybody. But if what you want is shock value, go for it. It's just probably not worth the money that you're paying. All right, next step was, speaking of ice cream, we're going to head over to Ghirardelli. And Ghirardelli, you will find it on both coasts. You'll find it in Disneyland and Disney World. And of course, if you've ever been or ever heard about Ghirardelli, you know they're famous for their chocolate, and they have incredible sundaes there. One to explore if you have a big group is the Earthquake Sundae. This thing is giant. I think there's like 7 or 8 scoops of ice cream, lots of toppings. It's just huge. Again, talk about shock value. This thing's giant, but it's a fun one if you've got a big group. But if you're all on by your lonesome, or if you're visiting as a small family, go ahead and grab a couple of the regular sundaes. The Crissy Field Cookie Bits sundae is a fan favorite. It's a guest favorite, and I love it. It's got almost cookie dough texture cookies on it, so they're not quite totally baked. So you've got that great sort of cookie dough texture with the hot fudge and ice cream. And the Presidio Passion is also a really, really good one, mixing strawberries in there. Really delicious dessert. And I also love the Ocean Sea Salt sundae. This one is salted caramel and vanilla ice cream, hot fudge. Lots of really good stuff can be added to that sundae. So the Ocean Sea Salt sundae is really yummy too. All right, now we're going to head back to the savory stuff. We're going to go to Raglan Road, which is a table service restaurant. It's a sit-down restaurant. This has been there since the beginning. This one's not brand new. It's been there since it was Downtown Disney. I shouldn't say beginning because we all know it's the Disney Springs area goes back many, many, many years. So Raglan Road is not as new as everything else. It's been there for a while. And this is an Irish pub, basically. It's owned by 3 Irishmen who really know their Irish food, and it's headlined by Master Chef Kevin Dundon, who's a celebrity chef in Ireland and also has a couple of TV shows over here in the States. This is Irish comfort food at its best, and they have live music, live dancing, lots of really fun entertainment there as well. I really highly recommend their mushroom chowder. Even if you don't like mushrooms, there's enough cream and butter in this to make you like it. It's so rich and amazing. So that mushroom chowder is great. The fish and chips here are wonderful. You definitely want to go for those. And they have a really great gluten-free version of their fish and chips as well that some people even like better than the regular fish and chips, just to take note of that. The Jer's bread and butter pudding is the dessert of note at Raglan Road. And this is a bread pudding that's served in kind of like a teacup, and it's got a couple of sauces. It's got a vanilla sauce and it's got a caramelish sauce. And my goal for everybody who orders this is to use all the sauce. Like, I would say dump out the bread and butter pudding and pour the sauces all over the place, because the bread and butter pudding itself isn't really moist enough. You kind of want, more moisture in that bread and butter pudding, so you need to use all of your sauces. So pour them all on there. Figure out a way to get it all on there and use it all, because it's really worth it. They're great sauces. Okay, we're going on to Morimoto Asia. Morimoto Asia is brand new to Disney Springs as well, a couple of years ago. And this one is Chef Masaharu Morimoto, who is an Iron Chef, for those of you who watch the Food Network. And this is a Pan-Asian restaurant. So there's Pan-Asian cuisine from a lot of different cultures. Something that I highly recommend here, if it's on the menu, is the Japanese Wagyu beef. This is going to be very expensive. This is going to be your splurge for your vacation, but it is the best beef you will ever eat. It's amazing. But yeah, it is a splurge. It's very expensive. If you want to taste phenomenal kind of steak, I wouldn't even call it steak. It's very thinly sliced, but it's off the charts. But they also do a really great job here with their Peking duck. And they have their Peking duck every night, and it's absolutely delicious. The thing that they don't do super well here is dessert, so you might want to head someplace else for dessert. All right, now we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to go to a bar. Yeah, we're going to go to a bar and lounge. It's Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar. Jock Lindsey, of course, was the pilot for Indiana Jones, if you know the Indiana Jones franchise. And the whole bar is themed to Indiana Jones, so you'll find lots of really cool Imagineering and theming inside that will remind you of that film franchise. Now here you can get multiple drinks. They have a lot of unique to this bar drinks, things like the cool-headed monkey, which is really fun, comes in a fun souvenir cup, which of course you don't have to purchase, or you can if you want to for a crazy amount of money, $26. The Jovito Mojito, they've got Reggie's Revenge, which is a fun drink. So lots of cool drinks to try. Good place to start out your night at Disney Springs. To eat here, they just have appetizers, but we love the Air Pirates pretzels. Why? Because they have melty cheese. Yep, they're served with fondue. So that's one of my favorites there as well. Now, if you are at Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar, it is first come, first served. So you can kind of sit wherever you can find a seat. You don't get reservations to eat there. But we always recommend sitting in the diving bell if you get the opportunity to sit in the diving bell. I think that's such a fun location to sit. Okay, so next we're going to go to Paradiso 37. This is a location that specializes in quote-unquote cuisine of the Americas. So they have some items on their menu that they consider to be Canadian and some that are considered to be, a United States or American favorite. But I think most of their menu focuses on South America and Central America. And our must-eat here is their crazy corn. We honestly only recommend this place for appetizers and drinks and desserts. The entrees here aren't great. So if you do go here, make it for appetizers, drinks, and desserts and just skip the entrees for now. They're going to have a menu overhaul pretty soon, but right now it's not great for entrees. So the crazy corn, this is corn cobs. It's been split up into quarters and brushed with ají amarillo, which is a Peruvian yellow pepper paste, and covered in a mixture of cheeses and then broiled. And this stuff is amazing. I know you just looking at it and your mouth is watering because it's so crazy amazing. And the flavors here are so good too. So it's not just melted cheese. It is incredible savory flavors you're just going to love. So that's a must eat there. All right, now we're headed over to the Daily Poutine, and this is a little tiny kiosk. This is not a table service restaurant. This is a little tiny kiosk that's focused on creating poutine. Poutine is a Canadian specialty. It is French fries covered in cheese curds and then covered in gravy. And so the hot gravy over the top is supposed to sort of melt the cheese curds a little bit. And it's pub grub. It's just the stuff you eat in the bars up in Canada, especially in the Montreal, Quebec area. And so this is a little poutine stand where they have lots of different types of poutine. They've got your classic poutine, but also they have different takes on an Italian poutine, a French poutine, a Latin poutine. And then they switch out a few seasonal varieties like a holiday poutine and a breakfast poutine. Right now, they're featuring a cheeseburger poutine. So you definitely want to try those out. I think those are big enough to share. They're huge, huge portions. But again, something really nice and fun for if you're looking for true comfort food. And then finally, we're heading over to Sprinkles, which Sprinkles is a cupcake bakery. It is a chain, so you'll find a Sprinkles in Disneyland. You'll find a Sprinkles probably in your home city if you live near a larger city. But what we love here is, the cupcakes are fine, they're great, but I also really like their cookies and their ice cream. They do have cookies and ice cream here. So my recommendation to you is to get an ice cream cookie sandwich. And on that ice cream cookie sandwich, I want you to use, here we go, here's my tried and true, this is what you want to use. They have a salted caramel cornflake cookie and they have Captain Crunch ice cream. So those two things together are unbelievable. The Captain Crunch ice cream tastes like the milk that's left over after you've eaten a huge bowl of Captain Crunch, which I know that sounds gross to some of you, but those of you that are just like me, you guys get it. It's awesome. And those salted caramel cornflake cookies are so good. And so putting those two together, it's amazing. Definitely worth it. Another good one there is the cookie cupcake. This might be seasonal, but we think it's going to stay on the menu for a while. That's a great one to try. And then something that I always get when I'm here are Sprinkles frosting shots. You guys know I love my frosting. I love it, love it, love it. And if you don't want to deal with the whole cake part, then you can just get a frosting shot, which is a little cup of actual frosting. They just give you a cup of frosting. What could be better than that? So be sure to get your frosting shot if you're crazy like me and you're just in love with frosting. So there's our part 1 for Disney Springs. Now don't worry if your favorites weren't mentioned. We've got a whole part 2 coming up and hopefully they'll be in there. But definitely leave me a comment and let me know what your favorites are. It might jog my memory and maybe give us enough fodder for a third part for our Disney Springs must-eats. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And my name is AJ and I'm here for Disney Food Blog and I will see you real soon.